Did the refs blow that call?
Oh, no question. If you watch the tape, I've probably watched it 100 times because I was frustrated when it happened, and then just to go back through. The foul occurred right at, the beginning of the play. So I think they had the ball on the 16-yard line, so maybe it was around the 10. Flag came in when he was about at the goal line. It was so obvious they were waiting to see what happened before they threw the flag. It's very frustrating. You mentioned the New Orleans play, very similar position. It's just part of your job as a referee is to know who's playing the position and what they can get away with. Every guy has a little bit of difference. This is Juju Smith-Schuster. This is the same guy that when Vontaze Burfict came over and knocked out Antonio Brown, he came across the middle, I think it was the same game, and killed him. Juju Smith-Schuster can take care of himself. Your job as a wide receiver is to make sure guys get their hands off of you. So they did a little pivot play. Actually, as good as Andy Reid was, I didn't love the play call. You went for it all on a 3rd and 8. Go to your bread and butter, Travis Kelce, in the middle of the field, get 8 yards, and go that way. He went for it all on what was a pivot wheel. Didn't like it. You put yourself – it's a really hard position for the wide receiver. You have to, on that play, you have to convince the corner – that you're trying to cross his face. If you get across his face, then it's an easy 8 yards on a slant route, right? Because they were clearing out with Travis Kelce and such. Had him coming in motion. You have to convince him of that. Didn't quite work. He stayed in front of you. And then when you pivot out of it, you always get grabbed. That's how it works every single time. So you have to anticipate that as a receiver. A big guy like Juju Smith-Schuster, keep your hands. He grabbed him by the waist, grabbed a little bit of jersey. It was a quarter second. Push him off, and you get up the sideline. Wasn't a very good throw. It was only a good throw if you're saying, hey, don't do anything stupid. You're trying to make sure not to throw an interception at the end of the game to potentially lose a Super Bowl. None of it was good. Bad play call, bad throw, bad call. It was a terrible play and a bad look for the NFL.
1,000% agree with you, but I think it's more on the bad throw than on Juju Smith-Schuster, because I don't think at any point what put me over the top is like, I never saw Juju break stride in any of his movements. He wasn't impeded. And so the reason for calling any penalty is because the opposition got an advantage. Mm-hmm. There was no advantage gotten in this scenario. That's stereotypical what happens at the line of scrimmage as a receiver tries to get off the ball. He couldn't have been more than 2 or 3 yards into his route when this happened, and I actually thought you could have some hand combat during that time. It's a horrendous call. It's one of those deals where, and again, I know I'm on the record saying I don't think these games are rigged, but I do think sometimes these games are manipulated, and that's why I don't like earpieces and all the referees, because that flag comes in so late. And I'm in New York. Again, they talked about it during the broadcast. Greg Olson or Kevin Burkhardt mentioned, or maybe it was Mike Pereira, that they had 30, 40 cameras working this game. So you can sit in New York and analyze every area of the field. And when you need a flag called, you can say, hey, in someone's ear, you missed something. And that's what that felt like, is we needed a flag. There was contact at the line. Button was pushed. Guy whips out a flag. Then they tell him what the call is. And again, I know I'm going conspiracy theory when I wasn't trying to go conspiracy theory. But it's just a horrendous call, and it ruined, as a Chiefs fan, as someone who had money on the Chiefs, it ruined the ending for me.